Good morning, happy Sunday, and today we're kicking off 10 of the most expensive foods. But you really got to ask yourself, is it worth it? For our first bite on the list, we're going to Lyon, France. We're trying Paul Bocuse restaurant for the most expensive chicken.
This is a $316 chicken.
What?
I'm not kidding. The breast chicken, the signature dish at Restaurant Paul Bocuse in Lyon, France, costs €290 and may just be the most expensive chicken in the world. The truffled chicken is cooked in a pig's bladder and comes with a cream sauce that is quite good, but at the end of the day, it tasted like a really nice chicken. And for $316, it really needed to blow me away. Check out the full review of Restaurant Paul Bocuse on our website.
I wish Brian was here. Brian would be going crazy over the morel mushrooms on top. These mushrooms can only be found in certain areas of the country for 2 weeks out of the year, and it is a craze to hunt them down. And let's just say some of the folks here in Ohio take that trade serious.
I'm sorry, but I still especially look at that serving size. I'm sorry, $316. I want the whole damn bird.
Doug, $316.
I want the whole damn bird.
See, here's the problem: is I've grown to become someone that likes, some of these more sophisticated palate type experiences, but when I get the bill for the $316 chicken, I can't help but think, because I've been a low-income, middle-class Ohioan long enough, I can't help but think about the number of Red Robin cheeseburgers, takeout Chinese food,
Chick-fil-A
pot stickers.
chicken.
That's what I'm saying. Pick your thing. How many Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches could I have bought for the $316? Brian could make me this. Brian, can you braise a chicken and then
Brian
put morel on
could
top?
Totally do this.
That's what I mean. And I'll give him $100 and then spend $216 on Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches for the rest of the year.
Steal.
All right, moving on to our second pick here. Guga Foods or Guga Foods. I don't know the guy's name, but it's a very recognizable voice. I come across his videos all the time. And he is going to be the one, because we could get lost in expensive steaks forever on this list. So he's going to be presenting us with one of the most expensive steaks you could have, and mouth-watering.
$1,150 steak, I'm not joking.
$1,150 steak?
Dry-aged Wagyu A5 pecan. Wow. This thing better be worth it. Season with salt only,
Wagyu.
nothing else. Don't overcook this. Take a look at this golden brown crust. Wow. Slice it in small strips. Medium rare, no cap.
Whoa. No cap.
Bro, I gotta say, all right, I've had Wagyu steak, and it was delicious, but it was $250 at a Michelin star steakhouse in Chicago, not $1,000. Oh, my God. And that was the best steak I'd ever had in my life, too. That place was amazing. Didn't cost me that much.
See, here in Cleveland, we have the Marble Room, which is probably the most expensive steakhouse in the state. I had their Wagyu. I've had Wagyu in the past. It's good. But, did you look at it? It's marbled fat. I mean, you're really just having glorified super fatty pork belly, but it's steak. And don't get me wrong, it's great. But, man, if you get the perfectly, seasoned and grilled to
Truffle
tender perfection.
Butter too.
No, I'm going to say on a strip house or a New York strip, that is just as good. If not, I'm going to say better.
Dude, New York strips are so good, and they're so standard, man.
And guess what? I'll pay $100 for a damn good New York strip.
Damn good, yep.
And the $400 Wagyu, I'm telling you, I'm sitting there man, it's good, but you start to romanticize back to the Red Robin cheeseburger, dude. You start romanticizing all the things that are a quarter of its cost, and you're it did scratch an itch a little bit better.
I mean, this restaurant ruined all steak for me, I'll be honest.
But you know what? We're the people's people, Doug.
We're average Joes.
Average Joes would call for nothing more than this next one. People may like steaks, but that could be for the more sophisticated palate, especially the Wagyu. But the regular man, especially following a Super Bowl week, the Eagles competing in it, How about the most expensive Philly cheesesteak?
This $140 Wagyu black truffle and foie gras Philly cheesesteak
Wagyu
served with
again.
a bottle of champagne is the
Truffle.
most over-the-top sandwich we've ever had. We're visiting Philly, and our first stop was one of the top-rated restaurants in the city on Belly, Barclay Prime. We love their seared scallops, truffle mac and cheese, and New York
The atmosphere
Ooh,
looks worth
seared
it.
scallops and
Barclay
mac
Prime
and
cheesesteak,
cheese.
topped with shaved
Steak.
black truffle, foie gras, Cooper Sharp, and grilled
I can't
onions.
lie.
Drink everywhere
I
we
would
eat
try
on
that.
Belly. We gave them a 9.3.
Dude, if we go to Philly, we're trying this place.
Okay. First off, lamest thing I've ever heard in my life. Of course, I think everything on this, we would try all of these. Would I love it is a whole nother thing. And I do think I would love this. Let's be real. I mean, I think a lot of people in the trade are going to feel this is sacrilegious. How could you do this to the sanctity of a Wagyu cut?
Dude, I want to try it even more when you say that, because I'm so sure it's going to be awesome.
Right? And it honestly...
And 140, a lot more realistic than $1,000.
I love like the cream, it looks well seasoned and prepared, cheesy.
Fresh.
Yes. I mean,
And the scallops, too. I love scallops.
and I gotta say, for the most expensive list, $140, that's playable.
I'd do that.
I could play
honestly.
ball here.
I would do that just to try it. That's not gonna break the bank.
The scallop, you're not exciting me, but that like the roll on it looks good.
It looks like a lobster roll, except it's Wagyu.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that roll makes it look like a lobster roll.
Yes. All right, so let's take a little bit of a pivot here. Mr. Lewis is one that he's got a double feature here because he seems to have the palate for the expensive kind. Here he takes us to the only Michelin restaurant in Florida, and we get to check out a nice restaurant in Miami.
Wait, only Michelin in Florida?
Yeah.
That's it.
We're at the highest rated restaurant in Miami trying their most expensive dishes, priced at the end. So we're at L'Atelier by Joel Robuchon in Miami, the only 2 Michelin star restaurant in the whole state of Florida. Joel Robuchon has over 32 Michelin stars, the most out of any chef. He's considered one of the best chefs ever. He trained Gordon Ramsay. This is an amuse bouche with a little bit of foie gras and Parmesan foam. Not really my cup of tea. It's a little bit too strong of a flavor. I'm gonna give it like a 4. The green apple jelly, a sunchoke, and burgundy truffle.
that doesn't
tart.
look-
Look at how small.
Yeah, I'm
this
sorry,
is. Why is this
that's-
stuff so small and so expensive?
It doesn't look exciting at all.
Tastes like a fancy
Apple?
sauce. What the hell is a
And he
sunchoke?
trained
Nah.
what's his face? That's interesting, but
It kinda tastes like a
Sunchoke?
potato and an artichoke mixed together.
Every single
Burgundy
thing
truffle.
was
The
expensive
tartlet
and
crust is
unappealing.
So thin and flaky. It was like thin as air, but still rich at the same time. The truffle adds a nice little luxury touch to it. I'm gonna get that little setup 7.97. A sea bream crudo with
That's worth
caviar,
my
sake
whole wallet.
emulsion, and apple pear
A
chutney.
7.
yeah, I'm sorry. That's a no for me just looking at it.
That is some fresh fish, tropical flavors, bright, vibrant, and I like the little saltiness and luxury that the Kaluga caviar adds. I'm gonna get us a 9.46.
I don't like fruity
A
fish.
roasted celery
Oh!
with a brandade
That's a high
croquette,
rating.
which is like cod, and then
No.
we have some kale over here. Everything is like one
Kale
bite.
and lentils. Okay. This better all be part of the same meal option
The
because
texture of
I
the
could eat
celery
like
root is very firm, but
10
then
of
it
these
gets soft.
things.
And that croquette is just so crunchy, fresh. All right, let's try this kale.
Wait, dude, think about how much sushi rolls we eat each serving.
Right. This is just one little
Yeah, one roll.
for $1,000.
9.17.
Is it really a 9?
These are butter poached meat lobster.
Now that looks
That
poppin'.
looks great.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't even see. We just see the end.
That is some of the softest, most tender lobster I've ever had. Nicely poached. Really like that tarragon
I would eat
emulsion.
that.
It's a very light dish, but very decadent. I'm gonna give it a 9.86.
So for main course we have lamb.
No.
On the side we have eggplant with orange miso.
See, I'm a bad Greek. I'm
I
not a
would like
lamb.
the lamb.
I'm not a lamb person. You like lamb?
Love lamb and
spiced
mashed
sausage,
potatoes.
and a little bit of eggplant
Live
over
for
here.
mashed potatoes.
I love mash so much. It's just so creamy and soft and scrumptious and so potatoey.
Love potatoes as a whole. That's the Irish in me.
It's such a crazy dish. I don't know if it's like a lamb wrapped in sausage. The
Dude,
lamb,
you love
super fresh,
gyros.
perfectly cooked, very
But
well
that's
seasoned,
mixed
full of
with
flavor.
beef.
And that spiced sausage adds
You're a
a little bit
bad
of kick
Greek.
to it.
I'm a bad Greek.
Eggplant. That's amazing.
Tell me
That's
the rest
almost
of
better
your
than the
family
lamb.
likes
I'm gonna get the
lamb.
lamb.
Oh, my mom and my
8.95.
sister, they
I'll
are
put
lamb.
butter at
Good.
first.
You ever cheat? They are lamb.
I knew I liked
There's
them
your
better.
taters, Doug.
And that looks so buttery, creamy.
Ooh.
That's what you
These are the best mashed
want.
potatoes I've ever had in my life.
I don't know. It
Boom!
looks like
Butteryness of it.
yogurt.
Nice airy whipped texture. Very
Yeah,
simply
because that's called
seasoned.
good mashed potatoes.
9.97. This was free.
Oh.
I'll take it. Braised veal cheek, pepper stuffed with a little bit of polenta and some zucchini.
Veal cheek.
Pablemo
It's
pepper.
almost like short
That's a
rib.
little-
Just melted in my
Is
mouth.
that what
It's the
cruelty
most
tastes
tender meat
like?
I've ever had in my life.
Veal's amazing.
The roasted red pepper got a little bit of smokiness to it. This is a 9.88. Palate cleanser. This is a lychee sorbet with a grapefruit foam.
The hell's a lychee?
These are lychees. Let me show you. Okay, look at this. You see that? And inside, there's this big black seed. Kind of looks like an eyeball, and there's this white translucent flesh all around the seed. And the taste is like a fruit punch. You know what I mean? Like sangria, right? They take red wine, they put some sugar in, and then some pieces of fruit, right? That's exactly what this tastes like a complex, beautiful holiday punch.
Fresh grapefruit in there as well. Fruity and citrusy. This is a 9.66. The Black Forest, we got a little bit of cherry. Do y'all see the presentation on this? Like the
It looks
Okay.
fun, but it probably
That
isn't.
I
good.
would love. Oh, yeah. And I'd eat it just like that. Just give it to me.
The presentation, though, alone,
Lots of texture.
victory.
This is such
That's a
creative dish.
dominant.
Yeah, the
Think of all the stuff
presentation's
going on that
beautiful.
would be
I'm
heavy,
gonna
but it's not
destroy
too sweet. It's actually pretty light. This is getting like a 9.94. Now, is this a meal worth about $300 per person?
Okay, that's so
If you're a really
not
big
terrible,
foodie
I
or like a
think.
food
I would
critic
try
or like
all of
you're a
those for
chef
that
or somebody
price.
in the industry that appreciates fine dining, absolutely yes. But if you're like on a date or you're with somebody who doesn't really understand it or get it, it might be over their head. If you got a big back, don't come here. Portions are gonna make you mad. You're gonna be upset. You might have to get some McDonald's or some KFC after this. The service is out of this world. My water glass never got past half empty. However, the server did forget my tea. Also, they forgot to bring me a spoon with the amuse-bouche. Of course it's French food, but they have an open kitchen concept. So they have a counter seating. You can sit and see the kitchen, and it's kind of like a mix between the Japanese sushi bars
do
and the
that.
Spanish tapas. It's definitely like a more relaxed environment than most Michelin stars. It's not all stuffy or stuck up. It's like a cool rich. Your Gucci belt. Well,
I mean, the ambiance looked beautiful.
Dude,
so,
for that price to try all those different things, I actually think that wasn't bad. To try all of that for that price, not bad. Like, if you really want to try it.
right.
Like, that doesn't break the bank compared to the $1,000-something steak we saw earlier on, dude.
Well,
this is a steal.
so speaking of $1,000 steaks, I got one last steak here for you, Doug. And I think what makes this so much of an expense monstrosity is so much less the steak itself and more its preparation.
what's the most expensive thing on the menu?
Our dry aged tomahawk tasting menu.
And how much for all that? Damn! With some steak? I'll take it. Rating, the
see.
best food at Niku X. Price at the end.
And get this prepared for your tomahawk ritual.
Okay.
Dousing this with some of our high proof bourbon.
The Pappy?
Dude, not the Pappy.
$100 for
Yeah.
Oh,
Doug.
I've been dying to try and find that. I've gone to the distillery trying to find it. They don't even have it there.
You're dying to try a shot of it. Watch what they do with like the bottom chunk of a Pappy Van Winkle bottle.
We're gonna go ahead. We don't even need a fork. Whatever we got. Dry
No.
Yes.
This amazing flavor.
Take me
Airing out this mixture
there.
right beneath. This is gonna start getting all those nice
Aromatics.
going and
Oh,
starting
it's
to
gonna
If
be
you
great.
want a true reaction video, we go to this restaurant and we get this ourselves. That will be how you keep me on this show. I'm done if we don't go and try some of these
Doug,
places
I'm
ourselves.
willing to lose you. This is sacrilegious.
It's actually gonna
I don't
be
give a
Pouring
shit.
that much Pappy?
I don't give a shit.
You can't be pouring that much Pappy and none of it into a glass.
When it's gonna make my steak taste awesome.
Is it really, though? That steak to me doesn't look like...
Our pink Himalayan.
I see this.
Oh, put the pink Himalayan sea salt on
We
there.
have Maggie bone marrow.
Now that looks delicious. Get a little bit more Pappy on that.
Oh, here comes the marrow.
Right here.
We need to add a fire show to our meal. How do we do it? Oh, I don't know. One of the most expensive bourbons. Just light it up.
Japanese bluefin tuna, working salmon, dry aged.
This is where you lose me. I'm not eating the raw stuff. Salmon belly.
Tuna belly. Dry aged kampachi.
Dude, that salmon belly looks like Wagyu.
Yeah, I told you, because good fish is delicious.
You would eat that?
Dude, I love sushi.
What about uni? Would you eat the uni? Do you know what that is?
I've had
That's
uni.
sea urchin.
Guys, uni,
I've had uni.
You have?
What is uni?
I didn't know what it was when someone had me try it, but it was actually pretty good.
You guys know how
Would you eat it again?
All they told me was it was uni, and I go, I don't know what that is.
Extremely healthy for you.
Oh, it's good. And then they go, it's sea urchin.
So it was good.
Tornado egg.
Give me our mixed berry sorbet. Yuzu, crown, melon,
These desserts
sorbet,
look beautiful.
raspberry cake for you all.
Yo, why did I set myself up?
Yeah, I don't like
even
sashimi. Like, I want the
especially uni. Like,
rice
what the
and
hell? It's
everything,
looking
the
back at me.
avocado, the cucumber.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
It's
I'm
probably
all about
If you like uni, it's
sushi.
fresh as hell, I'm gonna give it a
Not
6.5.
sashimi.
As I said, I'm not really a big sashimi guy, so I'm gonna skip past a lot of this. But the kamachi is not bad. It's actually pretty fresh. Okay. I don't know if y'all can really trust my opinion because I'm not a connoisseur like that. But this one right here, the tuna, this is definitely my favorite. Now let's get into this Wagyu bone marrow. Now this buttered
That would be
Japanese butter
delicious.
toast,
That
so
would be
soft, so
awesome.
buttery. Y'all look at that
The bread
Wagyu.
looks
Don't it look
amazing,
creamy
too.
like some Vaseline up on there?
Yes.
When I tell
And the eyes
y'all,
match
oh my
it.
goodness. It's so flavorful, so well seasoned, so tender. All right, now let's mix up this expensive egg.
Ooh.
We're supposed to dip this steak in it. The main dish, guys. Y'all ready for this?
Gimme,
I'm
gimme,
excited.
gimme.
Wow. The
Get all
tenderness
up
of the
in my
meat is juicy. The
belly.
crispy skin. It's like the dry aging soaks in the flavors. 9.8. Arigato, chef. This tornado egg is so difficult to
Oh,
make.
with fried
and this
rice?
just
Oh.
looks so fresh. Now let's give this taste with the Wagyu.
Yes!
The Wagyu is the perfect size, nice little chunks. It's like a fancy
That looks
fried
like the
rice.
best.
And this is a quality
9.2,
egg, yo.
hell
9.2.
yeah.
Restaurant vibes all day. You
Now,
don't get
what does
escorted
it
in.
cost?
VIP service, private room, baby. You got to drop $1,800 minimum up in here. Yup, and we got private doors. The meat selection
Oh my
is
goodness.
crazy, and they have like fresh fish just running
Robot
around.
busboy.
The service
Yeah.
is impeccable. I believe they even have a Michelin star, and they never told me no. They
Yeah, they're
have the
lighting on
rarest, the
fire.
best, and the most exclusive drinks. The regular
$4
tomahawk is
grand.
$500. Definitely
Yeah.
worth it. My check
Hit
was
the
just so
expensive
much 'cause I was
tequila
ordering
again.
Some expensive drink. I'm talking $900 a shot.
The wealth tastes good. Dude, that's a little expensive
Yeah, I
for
was
my
just saying,
palate.
like, dude, we've had expensive to decently, you know, like we try it to, nah, I would not pay that.
Doug, with that money, I could go
A couple
and get-
months with your house payment? Yeah.
I could take that money because in Ohio we've got a lottery system for our liquor. So I would go to Chicago where you could find it but would pay the markup. I would be able to buy 2 bottles of Pappy Van Winkle and go to Philadelphia for an overpriced cheesesteak and still come out ahead of that meal.
Dude, when I went to Chicago last year and I walked to 5 liquor stores, found some Buffalo Trace, never found Pappy though. And I looked for Eagle Rare too, couldn't find Eagle Rare. So I doubt you'd be able to find Pappy that easy.
You know, but we're getting lost in the kitchen too much. Fancy restaurants. Sometimes the more sophisticated palate and expensive items can be found in the places you least expect them. Check out this expensive treat you would find in the Asian region.
This is the most expensive.
This is
food in the
legit a
world.
treat.
It costs $299 for just 10 grams, but people in China eat it every day. It's called peach gum. Peach gum is a natural resin collected from peach trees. But if you want to get the best peach gum, you need to book it 5 years
What
in
a
advance.
crazy
That's
process.
because the peach tree must be at least 5 years old or older to secrete enough resin. In China,
You're
peach
literally
gum
eating
is also
tree
known as
gum.
the tears of the peach tree. This is because of the way it's
Georgia is
harvested.
known for
Before
peaches,
harvesting,
so
the
how are
collector
we not
carefully makes a
producing
small
peach
incision
gum?
in the bark.
Because
of
it's
the
a
peach
special
tree.
type
These
of
cuts
peach tree.
cause the tree to secrete resin, like a self-defense mechanism. The peach gum slowly oozes out and hardens, forming a gel-like resin. Here's what the peach gum looks like. After it dries, peach gum becomes harder and usually appears transparent or light yellowish. It looks similar to amber. The peach gum is then cleaned, removing any dirt or impurities from its surface. After cleaning, the peach gum needs to be soaked overnight. During the soaking process, the peach gum expands and becomes softer and more transparent. This step helps to remove any remaining impurities. Usually people in China cook it with red dates and bird's nests. Peach gum contains natural plant-based collagen. It provides rich collagen and trace elements to the body. So, would you like to try it?
Yeah, so they just eat this, like, creamy gum. And what, that doesn't entice you?
Nah. Let's go back to the Wagyu.
You're telling me you wouldn't sign up 5 years in advance to get on the waiting list?
I don't even know if I'll be alive in 5 years. Who knows what the future holds? Like, unless I run a business, I ain't willing to bet on 5 years.
yeah, fair. And when in that spirit, you're right. Take us back to the restaurant where expensive food items at least make sense.
I get it right now.
Yeah. And at least then what you're paying for at least feels justified. But your regular items, you know, the regular guy we talk about, Doug, do you think the regular guy could get excited about the most expensive cheeseburger?
Yes.
The world's most expensive burger has Wagyu beef, beluga caviar, and costs $6,000. Features Wagyu beef, seared foie gras, and black truffle shavings. Consisting of 6 ingredients from different countries, the taste is felt in every bite: truffles, foie gras, and of course the Japanese meat that is so tender in the mouth. Loaded with 24K gold leaf.
So you expect me to eat that gold? I'd rather pick it off and make some money.
Well, first off, Doug, it's thin enough that there is no money to be made.
Well, it's 24 karat gold.
Isn't
gold?
Well, you're going to catch
especially
a theme.
That much gold.
It comes up again in these lists. It's like, are we that desperate to make things expensive and that we just add jewelry to it? And you're not eating it because it enhances the meal. You're eating it because you're like flexing that like jewels. Like that's wild. But for a cheeseburger, it's like nothing a cheeseburger lover likes is on this cheeseburger.
I love cheeseburgers. The Wagyu, awesome. The bacon or whatever they're putting on it,
whatever.
Awesome. That stuff, great.
Maybe
you're right. Maybe
I doubt
but
it.
Then the caviar, the gold, and then a gold bun. I'm like, you're taking what should be a beautiful thing and turning it into an expensive piece of crap.
Right, just to unnecessarily boost its cost. Yeah, to me, just a glorified waste of money. But speaking of glorified waste of money, you know, if we're going to talk about the most expensive cheeseburger, how do you wrap up that meal but with the most expensive dessert?
This is the most expensive dessert in the world. This is the Fortress Stilt Fisherman Indulgence, served at the Fortress Resort and Spa in Sri Lanka. At $14,500, this dish pays respects to an old Sri Lankan technique of stilt fishing. And the majority of the price tag comes from this 80-carat aquamarine jewel sitting on a stilt.
Yeah, that
the dish
my
includes
face
an
right
entire
there says it all.
flavored base with Bailey's Irish cream, mango and pomegranate compote, a champagne sabayon sauce, and a gold leaf. If you want to try it, you'll need to let the staff know at least 48 hours in advance. Would you try it, or would you rather put money towards, I don't know, a house?
House. That's me living in America. House.
$14,000. You got to let the folks know 48 hours in advance. Why? Because they have to run to the jewelry store and pick up your gem. Just go to Jared. Every kiss begins with K. Go to the store.
You should get a sponsorship for that one.
Just go to the store and buy your gem. And then you could probably get like a Chips Ahoy cookie and put it on that. You don't even have to. The Bailey's cream, blah, blah, blah. The dessert takes a backseat to this is just like the box that your ring comes in. Like this is just a glorified way of serving your jewelry. All right, and we're turning our corner here on the last two most expensive foods. Let's take a look at the most expensive dining experience in one of the most luxurious places on the planet.
Real quick,
Dubai.
have you been there? Is that where you went? Did you go to Dubai
I've
for
been
your
to Dubai.
study? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you've been there.
I haven't been to this restaurant, but yes.
But yeah, I was like, okay, you've been to Dubai at least.
So
you have some context on this.
yeah, some context. The most expensive restaurant.
This is Dubai's most expensive immersive dining experience.
Ooh.
This is Cresota, Dubai. It's one of Dubai's most expensive restaurants with a minimum spend of 2,300 dirhams per head. But what makes this restaurant so exclusive? Let's find out. When you enter, you will be welcomed to your own personal waiter for the night. As soon as you enter the main room, you'll see your name flash up on the table. We were about to be served an 8-course meal, and each of the 8 courses will be enhanced by interactive installations, 3D displays,
That's awesome.
and original AI
I love it.
artwork. I chose the vegetarian option for tonight. The first starter that was brought to me were little mini peas directly sourced from Japan. So once you're finished with your drinks and snacks in the first room, you're then taken along with the other 19 guests into the main room. My meal started with a peach sashimi
The environment
and ended
alone.
with a cheesecake.
Yeah.
The dishes will interact with you
love
quite
cheesecake.
literally. So the
And look at
restaurant
that.
only accommodates 20 diners at once, keeping each diner's experience unique. However, the question remains, was it worth it?
Unbelievable.
Well, Cresota combines culinary, artistic, and architectural elements simultaneously, so it's a lot more than just food. So if you are willing to splurge for the experience, then I think it's worth it. Follow
Splurge.
details for more.
So, Doug, looking up the conversion rate, what does that come out to?
So the minimum 2,300 dirham, whatever they use in the United Arab Emirates, Arab Emirates, it's $626.21 US dollars, $626.21 minimum. For what we just saw, that's actually not as crazy because like all I saw was the number come up on screen. I'm like, okay, but how much is that in US dollars?
And again, for somebody to pay $14,000 for dessert, what's $600 for a whole immersive experience? They've got AI creating art around you. It's interactive. You can actually, involve yourself with the developing video landscape on the table. I mean, that's worth it. You're paying not only for a meal, but the experience. And so kind of like, what was his name? Mr. Lewis, kind of like those crazy meals where you're getting these little mini pucks and you're like, I better get a bunch of those because those are like pizza rolls. If I'm going to have a meal like that and I'm going to overpay like $700 a plate or, a seat for it, then I want it to be an evening because then at least I'm paying for an experience beyond just.
And this was multiple rooms too. She said you start in one room and go to another room, which means they have a whole thing planned for you. And they only limit it to the 20 people, like she said.
And boy, does it look immersive, right?
Oh my God, it looked awesome. Like if I was gonna spend, we've seen some not like we've talked about. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. Oh, that's too much. You're getting a whole thing for that. A whole thing plus the food looked awesome.
Yes, right. So we going to Dubai?
I'd do it.
Let's do it.
I'd do it. You've already been, so you'd be my guide there, essentially.
Just don't like cross your legs and eat with your left hand. Yeah, if you go to this restaurant, don't eat with your left hand.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you'll lose your left hand.
Because
not
the left
literally
hand is
in
the
Dubai,
devil?
but yes, in the Middle East and especially the UAE, depending on where you are, it is part of the doctrine.
Like, what do you mean by eat? Because you
Because
use your
here's the
fork
deal.
and your hand to cut, or like.
I don't wanna-
Is it actually if you scoop into your mouth with your
So
left
people
hand?
are trying to, wake up, have a Sunday. I'm not trying to make it too gruesome, but the reason why it's part of their religion, and they being a country from Sharia law, therefore their religion is the creation of their law. You have this understanding that the way they use the restroom is different than ours, right? They don't have toilet paper. They have this thing called a pish-pish. And why? Because it's a little hose that goes psh-psh. And,
bidet.
When you go to the bathroom, kind of just like a bidet. But not all of them have that. Some of them just have buckets. Either way, it's become a custom that you would use your left hand with the pish-pish or the bucket to kind of brush away any of the mud that, residue. So you are to not eat with that hand because it's considered a compromised hand.
So you can't use that hand at all then? Like, what about cutting meat? Like you can use it to cut? Or
just don't eat with it.
Just don't literally use it to put the fork in the mouth is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Wow. You saved me from losing a hand.
I'm glad you get to keep
This is stuff people need to know, man. I mean, come on. Brian did a whole show on mushrooms, told us what we need to know about mushrooms. This is what people need to know.
Yeah, not the other. Yeah, exactly. Facts. Because here's the thing. Don't go to these places without, like, an actual program. Because I would never have known that. Like, if you cross your legs and show the bottom of your foot, like, you're in trouble. Do you know how much? You don't realize how much you naturally sit like that until you're over there and you can't do it. And people are like, hey, stop. And you're like, oh. Ooh.
But what about, like, you step in something, you pull your heel up to take a look at what you just stepped in?
Well, that's different. It's very different.
So it's literally
this is
just
like,
sitting.
Yeah. It's like, be on the subway.
Yeah, you'd have to come with me or else I would never be home. I'd never be home again.
They say the same thing.
What a great talk. That was a good one.
So, final item of the day here. The most expensive taco.
This is the most expensive taco in the world. It costs $25,000 and people are buying it. But why? It's a taco.
How much?
Seriously.
Why? This is the chef's taco from the Juan de los Cabos Resort in Mexico. These tacos tortilla shells are literally made of gold. They mix 24-karat gold with the dough and then topped it off with even more gold flakes. Then inside, the cheese is actually a special brie flown in directly from Paris. Then there's the meat.
I'd rather
it's
get that money in gold, please.
Then there's seafood with a lobster tail from Maine added in the mix. Then the chef tops it with some caviar coming all the way from Russia. It's all topped off with a special sauce made out of chili peppers and the world's most expensive coffee. Then the chef sprinkles some flowers on top to add some color. And there you have it, a $25,000 taco, a 25K taco. Have a call with your banker before you take a bite.
I have a comment.
Let's hear it.
Love me some tacos, man. Love.
I love them so much more when they're $1.
But like that taco, $25,000. Okay, the gold, not. Just give me the money back in gold then or something, or just take that money off and exclude the gold. Like I don't need it. I don't need that. I don't need for my excrement to be worth more than me, you know? Like, come on. And then, like, they throw on the caviar. They're throwing on a secret sauce. That sauce was black. Like, what is that sauce? And then, I don't know, man. Like, we definitely have Americanized tacos here in the U.S. Like, maybe that's a normal taco down there for all I know. But I'm sorry, no. That's a hard no.
If I can reflect anything upon this list that we just watched, it's that some people are just too rich. Because, like, a taco should be giving you shits in the morning. You should enjoy it at the time, have your regrets.
It shouldn't be the most expensive thing you eat.
And it shouldn't exceed, like, $3. And so when I look at something like this, and you just spent $25,000, which is some work their all year. They don't even make that. And so in a world where that exists and you're spending that on a taco that probably also gives you the shits, but like Doug said, it looks like Scrooge McDuck's, drawer, that this one is a total waste of money. And when you could go, yeah, look what you could have got with the $25,000 just in life, but even just taco-wise, we've got too much money. This is a total waste. I'm looking at that cheeseburger, go to Red Robin. Like, I'm looking at the steak. You could literally go to Delmonico, go to a steak house, $100. Damn good steak. Best steak you've ever had. So it's sad because I feel like so much of this is a glorified waste of money and you're only doing it to show off that you wasted all this money. Why are you putting sheets and sheets of gold on stuff other than to just inflate the price? Just go, I can and you can't. Did it make it taste better? Probably not. Oh, well, then why'd you do it? Because I can.
So many of
can't.
these were actually worth it or at least doable that you would try.
Yes.
And then there's that.
Yeah. My reaction to the whole thing, and I think the better list that you'll never get is all of the low-priced, hidden gem, greatest, like, middle-class foods. So I appreciate you all joining us on this fine Sunday morning. Boy, some of this expensive food I don't think really left me salivating much. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your beautiful Sunday. If we made you laugh, if we brought you some entertainment today, the best thing you could do to support this show is send out that link, spread it, share it, because we're here each week for you, and that's the best thing you can do. Otherwise, be sure to hit the like button and dangle that notification bell so you don't miss us next week. We're here every Sunday. And otherwise, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.